500 yards a year of second place Nick Chubb. Last time it was down like that.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Of course, we would expect to close it out.
We attacking better, step back and watch them run. Shotgun, come with the options. Big blitz, nobody blocking. Big win, that's a ring in the watch. On in when he come in the slot, slide him in the corner, your limb in. All the niggas winking. All you wanna do is talk, all you talk.
From the horrible season-ending loss in Jacksonville when he had 77. A Wisconsin favorite set the NCAA freshman rushing record, 1,977 yards, and ultimately became the sixth all-time leading D1 rusher. He had the most 200-yard rushing games ever, 12. Was a second-round pick in 2020, the third running back taken behind Clyde Edwards-Helaire at Kansas City and the out.
Tony, these nerdy people who tell you running backs aren't valuable because they've got some numeric model, analytics. They would look at Jim Brown and Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith now and say, yeah, we can do it with a cheaper model. We don't really. I hate this.
Not Jim Brown.
They would.
Happy anniversary to Tom Brady. No, they would. On this day 20 years ago, the Patriots got past the Raiders and the Raiders' fumble was overruled by referee Walt Coleman, who stated Brady was still in his passing motion, even though the ball appeared to be going backwards. Coleman invoked the tuck rule, which stated that any intentional forward movement by a player starts a forward pass, even if the player loses possession of the ball as he attempts to tuck it back towards his body. The Patriots retained possession as Terry kicked a 25-yard field goal to the wind and the snow to tie the game at 13. In overtime, Terry kicked a 23-yard field goal to win the game and send the Patriots to the AFC Championship game, which later beat the St. Louis Rams in the Super Bowl for Brady's first Lombardi trophy. Well, on the other day, he insisted the Raiders got home to Cincinnati, and that touchdown stood up. How do you feel about the tuck rule?
Yeah, I don't know, Tony. I feel like Jerry Rice was just freaking out. Steve on the sideline was in that game. By the way, the 30 for 30 on this on February 6th, and we're in it. My dear friend and now colleague, one of the producers of that. They could have found a better clip than me in a Coogee sweater. Okay, Coogee sweater, seriously?
It's a little dangerous. Yeah, after trails for last night's game for Duke. The number 6 Blue Devils beaten by Florida State in overtime last night, 79-78. This is Duke's second loss to an unranked team in the last 11 days. Previously, Duke had lost to Miami, so they probably should not schedule Florida, UCF, or Gulf Coast anytime soon. There are a couple of interesting oddities coming out of this game. This is Florida State's 13th straight overtime victory. All the time you can imagine opposing coach saving the team in late timeout. I don't care where you shoot from behind the score, but we cannot let this game go to OT. Plus, this was the 55th time that Florida State coach Leonard Hamilton had beaten a ranked team when his team was unranked, also a D1 ranked. And it leads to the obvious question, why are Leonard Hamilton teams unranked?
Yeah, let's see if the pollsters will acknowledge the actual result of it.
Big finish real quick. Klay Thompson led the Warriors with 21 and a win over the Pistons. Are you impressed?
Yes, he's getting back to becoming Klay Thompson, top 75 player of all time. Yes.
Go there, go.
NFL slapped his own player, safety Andrew Adams, and helmet Sunday. Does that make sense?
I saw that. It was so weird. It was just so weird. The Cowboys traded Bryn Forbes to the Nuggets as part of a 3-team deal. Is that significant?
If you need shooting, Bryn Forbes is the guy you want. Yes, it could be. It could be. Dak Prescott tweeted that he deeply regrets his comments praising fans for throwing things at the officials. Your thoughts?
He said it over and over. It wasn't just once. He repeated it. What?
Yeah, he did.
Last one. Cavs at your Bulls tonight. What do you got?
We may have to eat another one, but we need to come out of this 4-game winning streak, Tom. We need to do it tonight.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. Lila Rodriguez, welcome to the world.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. You can see Greeny, Stephen A., Jalen and me duke it out on Countdown to 7, Nancy Remar. Too many people got Hartford Westlake. We didn't get to you, sorry. And now, Sports Center.
Is Sportsin with El Duncan and Kevin Nagandi.
Well, I'm coming back in a minute with our NBA Countdown crew featuring Stephen A. Smith and Galen Rose to discuss the championship pressure on the Nets and the Lakers, plus Mel Kiper Jr.
Finally!
First mock out for the draft. We will dive right into it.
By the way, I love where he has Nicole Dean going. That's all I'll say. And we're one day closer to the NFL divisional round. Who has the edge between the Bills and the Chiefs? And key injury updates for the Titans and the Bucs. We're going to start with our headlines. This is what we tend to do. Staying right there in Tampa Bay, Bucs coach Bruce Arians fined $50,000 for hitting the helmet at Tampa Safety Andrew Adams Sunday. You saw the video, went viral. It's right here. After an Eagles muffed punt reception, Arians appeared to want Adams out of the scrum. He says he's going to appeal. Baker Mayfield had surgery on his non-throwing shoulder today, called it a complete success. The team said his recovery time is 4 to 6 months. That makes him ready for next season, his last on his rookie contract. Former TCU coach Greg Patterson is joining Steve Sarkisian's staff at Texas as a special assistant. ESPN's confirmed Patterson went 6-2 against Texas in the past 8 years. Sarkisian was 5-7 in his first season with Texas. And the University of Michigan has agreed to a $490 million settlement with more than 1,000 people, many of them athletes, who said a former team doctor sexually assaulted them. Much more on this in tonight's SportsCenter report.
Now we're following a developing story in the NFL. 3 days after the Cowboys were knocked out of the playoffs, Mike McCarthy met with the media, feeling the heat after losing to the 49ers. Now, earlier this week, Stephen Jones said he was very confident McCarthy will return next season, but we have yet to hear from Jerry. Here's McCarthy today.
I mean, as a football team, we didn't reach our goal. I think that's clear. We all had high hopes and expectations, and definitely felt that we did a really good job of putting ourselves in position to make a run in the playoffs. So I think just like anything, there's only one team that gets to answer these questions and feel good about your final lap.
In your meetings with the Joneses, have they given you clarity on your job security and amid all the rumors and the gossip? Can you share that clarity with us?
Yes, I've had a chance to talk to Jerry after the game for a long time. Also saw him again Monday, so we had a very positive conversation and just to focus on the evaluation process.
Former Cowboy Deshaun Johnson is standing by with L, but let's start with Ed Werner, who joins us now from Cowboys headquarters. Ed, you've been with this team all season. What stood out to you from what McCarthy said today?
Yeah, Kevin, in his season-ending news conference, Mike McCarthy said something that I've actually never heard from a head coach following a playoff loss. McCarthy described his team as being nervous, saying he sensed it even before kickoff Sunday and that perhaps it was reflected in their poor start against the 49ers. When I have been asked to explain why his players would be nervous, McCarthy said, well, maybe nervous was the wrong word for it, and it was more angst because they were in their first playoff game together. Well, I got to tell you, I've never heard that before either. Beyond that, McCarthy said his conversations with owner Jerry Jones have been very positive, and he has no concerns about continuing as the head coach here. McCarthy emphasized that he knows what he puts into his work, knows how to win playoff games, and knows how to win championships. And then finally, Kevin, with the possibility of losing both defensive coordinator Dan Quinn and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore to head coaching jobs elsewhere, McCarthy said he would not install his Green Bay offense here or call his own plays should Moore leave. He also said that no matter what happens, the offense will continue to be designed around quarterback Dak Prescott.
Losing both coordinators would be a huge storyline. We will see how this plays out. By the way, McCarthy, 18-15 in his 2 regular seasons in Thank you.
Yes, as you mentioned, he is standing by. Hello, Keith. We're hearing from Mike McCarthy. He seems to think no worries, right? We have never heard from Jerry Jones about Mike McCarthy. How do you explain how the Cowboys have been doing this entire situation?
I don't, because I know Jerry, I know Stephen Jones. If it was going to happen, it would already happen, right? They're not going anywhere. Mike McCarthy's not going anywhere. They're the only he's safe. That's why he's talking the way he's talking. He's speaking about the future. If they lose their coordinators, they lose their coordinators. I don't think that they're in any rush to replace Mike McCarthy going into next season. Now, if this was next season and they lost to the playoffs, that's a different conversation. I understand Dan Quinn has done a tremendous job with the defense. I understand a lot of people like Kellen Moore and think he's the greatest offensive mind going that the Dallas Cowboys
most in the league. Keyshawn.
The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still hydrated. The calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The drive will start with an option going left. And he's upended at the 33. Following a good pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play action. Now it's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
First down grab there by Christian Kirk, now in his 4th season with the Arizona Cardinals, and they would like to get the ball to him a little bit more. Just 48 catches last year. Typically, when he catches it, it results in big plays.
A run there with Cook on first down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. Second down coming up.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A give to Cook out of the gun. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Here's Mahomes to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Point after here coming up. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0.
Makes the score Cardinals 7, Jags 0.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. Buying time to his left. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. That's going to be caught by Judy. 7 yards to pick up there.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd.
On second down, it's Jones. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So as they take it over, we step aside. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Mahomes' throw taken in there by Cooks. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 19. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Deebo Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On play action, Allen. He'll air this one out for Kirk. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Watching that play unfold or watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Another nice decision there by Marcus Peters to go for the football. And he comes down with it yet again. Since coming into the league in 2015, no one has more interceptions than Marcus Peters. He's averaged better than 5 per year.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Cards are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Into the secondary, past the 40, and all the way up to the 46. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Running on first down is Cook, but he didn't find much there. Call it a gain of 3, 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing on first down is Allen. He'll dump this off to Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Justice Hill, the ball carrier. Terry Johnson brought him down.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Cook now off the read option. And he is in for 6. Touchdown Cardinals. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Mahomes going to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cook now off the read option. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Steps away. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Final preparations being made for the 2nd half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. And for the call of the 2nd half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
Yeah, Coach. Hey, that goes for the announcers, too. No AC in this booth, so we've got a mash unit of empty water bottles up here as well. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Pulls it in at the 13. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on fourth. Mahomes throwing on fourth. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. They go play fake. Mahomes. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen rolling to his right. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And meanwhile, Allen's throw going into the hands of Williams. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Allen off the play fake. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing now is Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception. TJ Green with a pick. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there out of the running game. What a run there. I mean, you got speed, elusiveness, escapability all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taken at about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 20. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Gosh, you add up last week.